So talk a little bit more about like how that experience was different in that environment getting started those first couple of years where you had different market forces compared to today.
Yeah, it was way different back then because now we're honed in on one city now. You know, we build only in Birmingham really, and that's been really nice just for a lot of reasons. But when we first started, we were everywhere. It was like 2 hours between our projects. Sometimes you'd be like, you know, building on the west side of Metro Detroit, east side. You know, sometimes in Birmingham, sometimes we're driving everywhere, and that was hard because I didn't know the market. You know, I didn't dive into just one market. So you're kind of guessing even more so like what that end value is going to go. Because you brought up a good point. Like you got to work backwards from what you know that the house is going to sell at or what you're going to be able to rent it at, and then work backwards from that number because you can't change that. You can change everything else. You can change what you buy it for. You know, you hear like, oh, you make your money on the buy. Like so you can not buy something that's too expensive. Like that's a good way to reduce that cost. So you have control of that, but you don't have control of that end number. You have control of all the costs that go into the house. You know, how fancy are you going to design it? How many things are you going to replace? Are you going to actually update the master bedroom? Or is every bathroom or every bedroom going to have a bathroom? So there's a lot of things you can control, but you can't control that end one. So that's like a big one. And so if you don't know the market real well and you're bouncing around all the time, that was the biggest guessing game. I think I spent so much time researching, you know, one specific lot that would become available. And then I have to, you know, do comp study of an area I didn't really know. You know, maybe I've been there before, but I don't know it, you know. And doing market studies now and just in one area that we've been doing it becomes a little bit easier, but it's still, you know, that's the shot in the dark that you don't know. You want to try to find that number all the time. Make the business really easy if you knew what it was going to sell at for sure.
So it sounds like you guys evolved then. You started out flipping houses kind of all over the place. You know, you have to analyze the market data in each individual location, which is very time consuming. How long did you do that before you guys really started honing in the business and then getting focused on one market and then building like the hyper focused niche and the reputation and all that stuff that you guys have now? Like, What did that process look like?
You know, at the beginning, the business plan, the first one it was important to diversify. Because you weren't sure like which markets were going to go up and down. So it was a strategy of ours to like have one out in Brighton, have one in Birmingham, have one in Grosse Pointe, because then you kind of, if one of the markets started to go up because it became desirable for people to move there, you'd have one here and one there. And then, honing in on one area, I think that did come with like having reputation, figuring out what we really liked about it. You know, you'd build a different product here than you would here. Well, we really like building this product, and that goes in these 3 communities. So we just kind of started narrowing it down to those 3 communities because we really liked that. We felt like that was going to be our niche. And then, after probably 6 or 7 years in business, then we really started honing in on like, okay, we're really good at this. Like at the time, it was like $900 to $2 million houses. Like let's try not to build any houses below 900 because there's plenty of people to do that. And then that $2 million price point, there's plenty of people above that. Let's fill this like niche right here and get really good at it. Figure out what everybody wants, expects, and needs in that price point, and then give them that exactly. And then that helped us hone into the area a little bit more. You know, since then now the prices have all gone up. You know, we've learned a little bit more, so the house has got a little fancier. But it's pretty much where we've been at. Is in that like, you know, now it's like $1.5 million to $4 million range. But really just, you know, be good at one thing is what we're trying to do now. Like be the best at this price point. And that's the way we're going to, you know, maximize our lives, maximize our, you know, probably our returns. But mostly like make sure we have a happy life and we like going to work every day. And when you get rid of some of the unknowns and you start getting really good at something, it's like, okay, cool. This is enjoyable. I like that.
I feel like that's how the industry is going in general, not just in construction, but also in the sales community. I feel like the future of the business is going to be highly skilled niches and people that like really own their community or market, because that's how you provide a lot of value in this business is really by understanding who each of the individual client or buyer profiles are for every neighborhood or community. And even within Birmingham, which is where we primarily work, you got a ton of different like niche neighborhoods and different buyer profiles based on that. And each of them desire different small tweaks as far as floor plan or finish level, you know, based on that profile type. But I think that's really how you become an expert in this industry, regardless of whether you're in construction or sales or another niche in the real estate business.
Probably in any business, really. Like if you do a lot of things, you're going to be an expert at none of them. To be really good, you got to be an expert. And experts like through repetition and doing it over and over again. So you might not have like a repetitious job, but you can still become professional at it by doing it over and over and over again.